public holidays. And most of these issues have been raised on the floor of Parliament by members of Parliament in respect to their oversight function. In this regard, the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development has scaled up inspections and engagements with the employers with a view of engaging how we take this right. We are proceeding and continuing engagement, and these engagements, as the representative of us indicated, will facilitate more aspect of this. This today, excellency, today underpins how we mitigate COVID-19 in the world of work. And I want to applaud His Excellency the President for the response that and policies that he undertook during COVID-19, which continues to support workers. First, prioritizing the budget measures for improving remuneration of workers, including pay rise for entire public service, but with more incentive to our scientists as a pivot towards a knowledge-based and science-driven economy to fight the scourge of unemployment. And we have seen recently where His Excellency the President has written a letter to Ministry of Health to retain all the health workers who worked during COVID-19 in the employment of public service. I think we need to congratulate His Excellency for that. Number two, financing of massive vaccination campaign that has enabled the economy to open up and work to resume. This is a policy that was championed by His Excellency the President in the containment of COVID-19. Providing cash transfer of 100,000, popularly known as Nabanja cash, to households who had lost their source of income in the informal sector. Intervening with measures which allowed commercial banks to restructure loans for businesses, enabling workers to retain their jobs. Providing stimulus packages to the art and creative industry, manufacturers, industrialists, small and medium enterprises through Uganda Development Bank, SMEs, PPEs with the commercial banks, that is lending at a low rate to businesses to recuperate, and Microfinance Support Center. Assenting to the NSSF Amendment Act to provide for midterm access. This has helped many workers who were under distress due to COVID-19 containment measures. Your Excellency, as of 24th April, NSSF had given out 368.4 billion to 17,827 workers under the law that you assented to. We want to thank you, Your Excellency, for this. Your Excellency, today's theme, which is mitigating the impact of COVID-19, enhancing productive employment for improved livelihood through parish development model, therefore resonates well with the policies that you have put in place to contain COVID-19 and restore the working class back into the work economy. Therefore, on behalf of the entire sector, workers, employers, and on my own behalf, I would like to thank you, Your Excellency, for your courageous and visionary leaders at the peak of COVID-19 pandemic. Your foresight saved this country from a catastrophe. Your strategic leadership during this crisis was unprecedented, highly appreciated not only in Uganda but globally. This is exemplified by the award given to you recently by the British Medical Journal and the National Health Services Health Education Program for extraordinary leadership in the pandemic management, issued for you and given, awarded to you in Britain. I congratulate you, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, the workers talked about the issue of the midterm access, the law that did not underpin the principle that was envisaged, where the word contribute was, according to the workers, the word should have been saved, where someone who has saved who is 45 years and saved for a period of 10 years, but instead of that word, it was put contributed. And therefore, the law had to be followed. But when they raised this matter, we have met with the Attorney General, and we have agreed on the way forward. And the Attorney General has drafted a new bill just to replace that particular word contributed with the word saved, to allow the workers. And that particular bill has already been processed and is going now to the Cabinet Secretariat for fast tracking and bringing it to Parliament. So I want to assure the workers to be calm and that this matter will be resolved soon. On the context of the parish development model, Your Excellency, we have embarked as a ministry that is in charge of mobilization. We have embarked on the mobilization, and beginning next week, Thursday, we are starting the sensitization at local government up to sub-county level to scale up the implementation, the mobilization, and the sensitization. Therefore, Your Excellency, I want to assure you that within the next 3 months, we would have executed up to sub-county level the mobilization to facilitate enterprise formation and facilitate Ministry of Trade to form all the circle that is required. On the side of labor issues, Your Excellency, you assented to the Labor Dispute Arbitration and Settlement Act 2021. We have started its implementation. This particular law has increased the number of judges at the industrial court from 2 to 5, and the judges can now hear cases independent of each other, and therefore it will facilitate expeditious resolution of dispute, and it is good, prudent dispute resolution mechanism to strengthen industrial court. And I want to thank you for assenting to that act. The ministry is also focusing on informal structure of Juakali and informal sectors of workers, where under our program called the Green Jobs, Your Excellency, we are undertaking skilling and giving startup kits for people in the Juakali areas and workers, and this program will now be constituency-based. We are also scaling up a program called apprenticeship. An apprenticeship program, Your Excellency, is where graduates, fresh graduates, are given jobs in ministries, departments, and they're facilitated with the transport for them to gain skills, so that in the next 1 or 2 years, when they're applying for a full-time job, they are then able to quote that experience. I want to thank UNDP for the piloting and supporting piloting of this program, and the lesson we have learned from this piloting of this program will support us to scale it more. On the issue of external recruitment of migrant workers, there has been outcry, Your Excellency, out there, and we have diagnosed the problem. We will bring a paper to Cabinet again, but we have so far increased the sentence for illegal recruitment activities from 3 years to 5 years. And I'm glad that the organization of Uganda External Recruitment workers are here, and they are the ones who regulate. I want them to stand up. They are in that tent. YOWER members, they are there, Your Excellency, and we are working closely with them to make sure that we make this sector a sector that will not cause problems to Ugandans. We have also increased what we call registration fee or licensing fee. Originally, if you want a company, you would pay a bond, a bank bond of 50 million. We have raised it to 100 million. This one is a guarantee in the bank, so that in case you take a worker out of the country and you are not able to bring the person, the ministry will then get that money from the bank to bring back the person back to the country, because most of the issues arises before the person finishes the contract abroad and we are not able to bring the person back. So now we have increased the bond and bank guarantee to 100 million. We have also told them to stop, and Your Excellency, this was a very strong message from you, charging of workers going abroad, where people are selling land, people are selling all sorts of things to facilitate them to go abroad. We have indicated to them only where they are semi-skilled and skilled, and it is a requirement from the country's placing that we sit together and agree on a fair price. And this one we are linking with them. We have also prohibited non-citizens from operating a recruitment agency. So we are not registering anybody who is a foreigner to manage or operate a migrant or a company that takes migrant workers abroad. We have also developed what we are calling External Employment Management Information System, which is an online system that captures the data of all migrant workers leaving Uganda and traveling abroad. And very soon we are going to institute a 24-hour help desk under this EMIS system, so that we are able to rescue our people. We have also developed Occupational Health and Safety Management Information System, which will provide online collection of information about workplaces in the country, and one will be able to see all the details of those who are employers in different locations, the type of industry, and the workers employed in that area. Your Excellency, I want to conclude therefore by restating that today we remind ourselves that we celebrate extraordinary sacrifice made and still being made by people in the world of work to promote the values of social justice, fundamental rights at work, and dignity for all. We at national level acknowledge the devotion and contributions of the workers who ensure the prosperity, strength, and well-being of our country. And at this juncture, I want to thank the men and women standing here who makes us sleep every day. And while we are here, they are standing the whole day for us and the country. Therefore, today calls upon us to recommit to the resolve to eliminate any lingering threats by COVID-19. And I cannot end without taking this opportunity to, in a very special way, applaud the frontliners who gave their best during that difficult times. And Your Excellency, I want to start with you, because we saw how at the onset of COVID, you stressed yourself, and we were always there and saw how you committed yourself as the #1 worker, Your Excellency. I thank you very much. I want to thank our doctors, the nurses, those who ensured that they enforced SOPs, they treated the sick, evacuated the ill, those who conducted research, vaccinated the population at risk, and provided hope and allowed us to open. I want to thank them, and some of them today are getting gold medal for those work that they did. Your Excellency, we recognize that consciousness of that moment you gave and they gave work beyond the call of duty that helped our country. I want to thank you, Your Excellency, and I want to thank everybody for coming. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, I do not know whether I have concluded with my speech, but in the program, the Right Honorable First Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister in charge of trade has some small activity. And I want to request the Right Honorable Deputy Prime Minister to probably make her way. This is the launch of the master plan for the construction of Mutukula Regional Market, a market that is supposed to support many workers and cross-border trade. Your Excellency, that activity is meant for you to sign on as a launch, but the Right Honorable First Deputy Prime Minister wants to just say a word about what it is. There are too many there.
Your Excellency, President of the Republic of Uganda, let me stand on existing protocol since the Minister has stated it. I'm here to introduce very briefly the Mutukula Regional Market Project. This is a unique hub, a private sector-driven project worth over $700 million. It is expected to take 2 years to construct, and even before it is constructed, to provide employment for laborers, engineers, artisans, consultants, and not to forget the catering services that the women will be able to provide for the staff. Your Excellency, this is a project coordinated by 4 ministries. My Ministry of East African Community, because of the treaty, the Mother Ministry of Trade, because of their work in the COMESA and the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, the Minister of Employment, who is hosting us, and the Minister of Defense for local support in Greater Masaka. Your Excellency, the project will have 18,000 shops, 1,000 warehouses, 100 market sheds, 1 5-star hotel, a hospital, 60 silos, 6 petrol stations, commercial building, parking yards, packaging and cold facilities, and an airstrip. It will be a one-stop center for goods and services produced in the region. Needless to say, utilities like electricity, water, roads will be provided. Your Excellency, on 13th April 2022, I, together with the Minister of Defense, Minister of State for Trade, went to break ground at Mutukula. And we want to thank you very, very much for accepting to give the project the 200 acres. The request was for 600, but I think let us start with that little as we move along. It will be a design, build, and operate project. Your Excellency, this project will immediately serve the regions of northern Tanzania, of Kagera, of Mwanza, of Shinyanga, and then the greater Comesa and Africa Continental Free Trade Area. I would like to introduce Mr. Karim Karamaji. I don't know where he is. The Chief Executive Officer of Mutukula Regional Market, who is a Ugandan, is he there? Karamaji, where are you? Waniko mkono. I also want to introduce Mr. Shiyong and Bahati Chando of Sinohydro Corporation. Are they there? Yes, Sinohydro, the ones who constructed Karuma, they are the ones constructing that project. Mr. Brink of PCC, is Mr. Brink there? Is Mr. Brink there? Okay, Your Excellency, those are the people putting together both the funding and the construction. Already, Your Excellency, over $100 million has been released to kickstart the project. It's therefore my pleasure to request Your Excellency to commission the architectural design so that the work can begin. Your Excellency, as I indicated, we have worked together as 4 ministries, but after today, right under the Prime Minister will take charge of the oversight and supervision because this is on government land. Your Excellency, I want to invite you to sign the master plan so that our people can get employment and to assure the minister that she will now continue her speech. I'll finish. Thank you.
Your Excellency, from signing, you are now invited to address the nation. Thank you.
Excellency the Vice President, the Right Honorable Speaker, His Lordship Chief Justice, Deputy Speaker, Deputy CJ, Prime Minister, and all the dignitaries who are here today, and the Ugandans who are listening. Some clever Wanyankore named their child Otafuire. Meaning that if you don't die, you will see good things with time. So when I heard that Mr. Owere's group and Dr. Amongi, the minister, had made parish development model the main theme of today, I said, Apoyo Rubanga, Katonda yebazibwe for giving me a long life, so that I can see that people are beginning to wake up. What is in the parish development model is what we started doing in the Ankole zone in the 1960s. I've told you many times how we had differences of opinion. How we had differences of opinion with the elite, you know, people who should be leading others, the politicians, the church leaders, the cultural leaders. That time they were also there, but they didn't know how to get their people out of underdevelopment. But we, our group, as students, we said no. For them, they thought that it was in order for a few people to be rich and the majority of the people remained backward. We didn't accept this. We said no. If all of them are sensitized, they can wake up and know what to do. Although we were interfered with by Idi Amin and the other groups, eventually when we gained the upper hand, 1986, we built on the work we had already started. And really the parish development model has 4 elements. And it starts with the people of land who have got land. It starts with agriculture. Because fortunately Uganda has got all these 40 million acres of good arable land. Now the task in that area of Ankole, there we had an additional problem. We had the problem of nomadism. People were also nomadic. So we had to settle that issue to expose to them the mistake of nomadism. But after nomadism, and many of the other people in Uganda were not nomadic, but they were not using their land to get out of poverty. Then the second element was what we keep talking about from Chibuku, from the Bagwere, or Korra Echida Chonka, only working for the stomach. That is the second element. Where nomadism is there, stop nomadism. Secondly, if you have got land, agricultural land, don't only work for the stomach, for eating only. Teach me each keken, as they say in Luo. Also work for the pocket, food security and income. Work for the stomach, but also for the pocket. But number 3, do so with the chivaro. The chivaro, chura, as they say in Luo, or Aymar in Ateso. And then, number 4, the government should then help you once you are clear about the other 3. But number 5, once you wake up and start earning money, then there's the problem of backward inheritance practices, where when the head of the family dies, the children destroy the property with physical division instead of dividing what comes from the land and not the land itself. Today I was reading the papers, and I saw the son of our late comrade, President Mike Baki. I don't know whether you read it, it was in the papers, who was giving a speech in Nairobi the other day, and pointed out, I was so happy to see that person speaking the way he was speaking, and he was saying the property of Mzee Kibaki is not ours, it is his, and we are trustees, we the children, not to destroy what Kibaki built. I was so happy to hear an African speaking like that. It's really a shame when you see all these groups. You look at the Europeans, a man like Henry Ford died long ago, even before KAGUTA was born. But the wealth he left is now bigger, much bigger than what he left. But Africans here are like ants. Enkuyege. Akatono mugenzi kalese bakaliya ne bakamarawo. Shameful, disgusting. So these are the 5 points of the parish development model. So we have been talking about this all these years. But people are busy with other things. The radios, the what, the cultural leaders, the priests, everybody is an authority. People are diverted. They don't concentrate on the message. But we have been keeping talking. We tried NADS. It is some little work, but with the NADS you end up again with the local elite. People are a bit banasomako. Nasomako. They are the ones who benefit from all these programs we send, like NADS. Then we brought Operation Wealth Creation. But Nasomako, CJ the other day coached me that in law they are called Jomukwano. Jomukwano, the one who are a little bit educated. But we don't want only Jomukwano, we want everybody. I think you know we say Duchu. We say Duchu? We want everybody to be involved, getting out of poverty. So when Operation Wealth Creation went, they did something, but that's why the percentage you hear, I am glad even the people of the prisons like Baine are beginning to talk economics. Because I heard him talking some economics. Not only arresting people and keeping them there, but also some economics. That's why you hear that abakorera chida kyonka teach me each keken. The number, the percentage has dropped from 68% in 2013 when Operation Wealth Creation started to now 39%. That means that Operation Wealth Creation did some work, but there is still a lot of work to do. The 39% are very many. And the work done by Operation Wealth Creation has resulted into a huge increase in the production of, for instance, coffee. Coffee has gone from 2 million bags to now 8 million bags, Uganda. And the earnings have gone from 400 million something to now almost 800 million. $800 million. And that is that work done by Operation Wealth Creation. The same for maize, production of maize. The production has gone up. But we still have the 39%. Therefore, the parish development model has a different, in all these other efforts, first of all, before our time, no government was giving money to the people to get out of poverty. Getting out of poverty was everybody's private business. You had to you had to look after yourself. Government was bringing peace. If you wanted to get out of poverty, that was your issue. Except sometimes if they wanted cotton or coffee, they could come and beat you and make you produce for the system, but not for yourself, to get out of poverty. And they wouldn't give you money to do that. They would simply make you do. But we have been, since from the time of Ntandikwa, we have been giving you money. This is like, must have started during the time of Ksama Mgerwa, when Ksama Mgerwa was Minister of State for Finance. We started giving you Ntandikwa, then prosperity for all the money from the government. But all this time, the responsibility is taken by the government officials. They are the ones who select who is to get money or planting materials or breeding stock. abakungu ba gavumenti bebasalawo ani anafuna ate ebyokukozesa binavaawa. The government officials were the ones deciding who is to be allocated and where would these materials be bought from and at what price. So that's what caused some confusion. Even with Operation Wealth Creation, I started hearing wananchi saying begabira boka, meaning these officers of ours whom we had sent had also become localized. They were giving to their friends, to themselves. Some of them even, I hear, started getting involved in having seed beds. They are the ones who sell their own plant. You are not supposed to be the producer. You are supposed to be to take what the government has got from. So they got compromised, diverted, in spite of their good work. That's why, therefore, this time, the approach is, number one, want everybody to get involved in working for the stomach and for the pocket. Number two, but to do so with the chibaro, with the chibaro chura, which means you select among the enterprises that we have already identified that can make good money, even if you do them on a small scale. We have the activity, there are like 7 of them: coffee, fruits, small zero grazing, dairy farming, food crop, poultry for eggs, piggery, fish farming. Now some people are adding some other things like macadamia and avocado, but for me these last two I have not yet calculated them, although I'm told that they are very good, but we shall calculate them and then speak firmly to you. But the 7, we are sure about the 7. Now this is for intensive farming. There are other crops which the country needs, like cotton, like sugarcane, like ranching. Me, I am a rancher. I have indigenous cows, like tobacco, even maize, even tea. These are crops which can only make money, or activities which can only make money if you do them on a big scale. So those ones should be done not by these people who have got 4 acres or less, but by we, the big farmers, like myself. I can do for you all those things you want. If you want cotton, I can grow it for you. So, with the chivaro, with the chura, and then the other points, like once you start getting money and the head of the family goes, please don't fragment the land. It's not legal. It's not legal. We shall not put you to prison, but we are counseling you. We are educating the families to understand that. So once you know that, in each parish, want everybody who has got some land or can rent land or can prove that he can use the land of the relative to join the parish development circle. You join the circle. And here, there's also some confusion of demanding money. Don't join unless you have paid money. No, leave them. Even if they haven't paid money, let them join. As long as they prove to you that they have got to the circle now, that they have got where they can do agriculture, small scale commercial agriculture, let them join. Once they form this circle and they agree to select from the 7 activities, for the other ones, I think we should have a separate program. For the other cotton and so on and so forth, I think we should have a separate program. I think the ministry should clarify this. For the big farmers, the ones for our type, we should have something separate. In fact, it's already there, because if I want to do the other big thing, the other low price activities like cotton, I can go to UDB and borrow money at concessional rate and do it. Or we shall develop some other mechanisms for us. But this time, we want to concentrate on the other people, the ones of the 4 acres or less, so that we don't overstretch ourselves. Now, so the money, this financial year, we are sending 17 million shillings to each parish. But in the next budget, we want to send 100 million to each parish. The budget coming in July. And the money will be sent to the circle. So it will be the circle government, the circle leadership, elected by them, not by the other parish development committee. The one of the chief of the parish chief and so are not the ones who are going to get this money. Those are just supervisors. But the money will go to the stakeholders themselves, to the Barimi Balunzi, Abomulkogo, the farmers who are members of the circle. It will go to their account. They are the ones to decide who should get first and where will they buy the materials from. So this bureaucracy of NADS, the one of Mugasha, is out now. I don't know what they will do. Maybe they will do some consultancy or some what. So the who to get and the where to buy will be done by the government of the circle, elected by the people themselves, by the circle members themselves. Not even the parish development model, because I don't want them to be involved. Let them just supervise. So that is when we talk of the parish development model, that's what we are talking about. And when we do that, because there are people who have already listened to our message, this message of 60 years, I have been involved in this for the last 60 years. And in some areas we have succeeded. Like in the cattle corridor, people are quite rich now because they listen to our message, although they still have other things to do. But even with the semi transformation, they are very rich. And in some other areas like Ruengaju, near Fort Portal, people have woken up. and got this message. And this is where the issue of YOWER comes now, and his group. Workers, workers, workers. How many are you? YOWER, come and tell us how many you are. How many members do you have? Come and tell us on the microphone there. Workers, trade union, what? Oh, how many are you?
Your Excellency, in trade union we have 1.5 million.
Now you hear?
And the potential workers are 12 million.
Don't say potential, the ones you have now.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Now you hear these workers, 1.5 million. And that includes the other group of Baguma. You heard the other man, Baguma? The one who was speaking there. No, don't worry, where you go and sit. Beping. That Baguma man is a teacher. So those are government workers. So this 1.5 million includes government workers who are like, I think they are like 0.5 now. So that means and there's also another confusion. I heard Baguma calling me a chief worker. Now, there we need to, I don't know what Todwong is doing. Political education has also gone down. You are talking as if you are somewhere else in other parts of Africa. I'm not a worker myself. I'm not a worker. I am a bourgeoisie. I am part of the middle class. You cannot call the middle class workers. Just they take the literal meaning. The one who works is a worker. No, that's not an ideological definition. Of course I work, but I'm not a worker. I work as a member of the middle class. And the middle class has got categories. You have got the bureaucratic bourgeoisie, like these civil servants. Civil servants are bureaucratic bourgeoisie. The teachers like Baguma, those are petty bourgeoisie. That's what we call them. Now, groups like Casita, do you know something called Casita? Those who specialize in imports. Those are comprador bourgeoisie, agents of foreign interests, whose job is to sell other people's goods here. They are called comprador. Comprador is a French word meaning agent. They are agent bourgeoisie. Now, the positive bourgeoisie, the ones who would like to promote, are people like Mulwana, the ones who were, even myself, you can add me in that group. Are the ones we call the national bourgeoisie. The national bourgeoisie, the ones who build up the economic strength of the country. Mao Zedong was very clear on this. That's how China came up. He was able to identify the positive bourgeoisie and the negative ones, like the comprador bourgeoisie. Those are negative group. Just importing. Yeah. Now you see the retro war we are having with the coffee issue. That coffee issue is very, very interesting. And I'm very glad people have put in writing their views. I'm very, Mbamaze, you put something in writing down, you are finished. If it is wrong, you cannot take it back. They are attacking the coffee deal, that the coffee deal is bad. What? Oh, thank you very much. We are now going to study you. You have put it in writing. It's in black and white. And that is a struggle between the comprador bourgeoisie, the agents of foreign interests, and the national bourgeoisie. So the workers, of course here the model of workers is not strictly like what was in Europe. In Europe, according to Karl Marx, in 1848, when he wrote his manifesto, is the worker who has no other asset except his labor. Because in Europe, some of the people were farmers, some were middle class, and the workers had no property. The only thing they had to sell was their labor. But in our case here, you find people, he's a worker in a factory, the proletariat. The people that were calling proletariat workers were the proletariat, not the bagumas. Those are employees, but not workers. You should call yourselves employees of the government, but not workers. Workers are, strictly speaking, the proletariat, the ones working in the factories. But that is something we shall sort out. With the Todong should be sorting that one out. I don't know what they are doing. I don't know what they are doing. So the importance of the parish model, parish development model, where, for instance, it has already taken some root, like in Rengaju parish. I sent people there. They went. Nankabero went and they saw. Those families, you find each family is employing 15 people in a small scale commercial agriculture of only 1 acre. 15 people working in that enterprise. Uganda has got 43 million people. If you take an average that there are 5 people in a home, that means we are 9 million families. Let's assume that 5 million of them have land, 1 acre or 2 acres or 3 acres or 4 or more. If each one of these 5 million listens to our message and goes into this small scale commercial farming with the chibaro, with the chura, even if he employs 10 people each, that is 50 million jobs. We shall have so many jobs here that we shall have no people to do them. We'll have more jobs than the population. So that's why I'm very happy. They had prepared a speech to come and read. I said, no, I don't need a written speech. I have my mission in my head. So I will tell you about my mission. So I was very glad. I was very glad to hear that Beta Mongi and YOWER and others had, in their wisdom, as we say in our home speaking, made the parish development model the theme of this Labor Day. Thank you very much. Apoyo Mate. If we do this, we shall have so many jobs, we shall have nobody to do them. We shall have to import labor from other countries, as happened in the past. Because these are 50 million jobs. Now, of course, in order for this to work, the government has already put some things in place. There is peace in the country. All these little things that are happening will be sorted out, like this Karamojong, whom I keep hearing. They will be sorted out. Peace is here to stay. Infrastructure, the roads and the railway and the electricity. We have now more electricity than is being consumed, but we have already signed an agreement with a group to do Ayago. That would add another 840 megawatts on the power supply. So, with infrastructure, the investors will come in, the factories will come in. And now, apart from the jobs in the agricultural sector, for me, I think we can create 50 million jobs in the agricultural sector. The other day, I was at Raktura with my daughter, who is my managing director now, and I found 44 workers there in Raktura. And Raktura is not fully used, it is semi-used. So this, we can create, for me, I think we can create a minimum of 50 million jobs through agriculture alone. But if you have got agriculture, you must process what is produced. Otherwise, it will be a problem. And you can see the example, like in our area, Busoga, Abebekado, growing, then processing. There is pressure to have more processing capacity. If you go through Ruero, you will see a lot of pineapples. Kayunga, Masaka, a lot of pineapples. There is now pressure to have processing. The coffee, pressure for processing. Even the tea, I get a demand, more factories. So the milk, once milk went up, factories also increased. So the production in the agricultural sector would demand more processing capacity, and that will create more jobs.